Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother, student minister Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, and this is one black man's opinion. There are many issues on the table today, and I'm deeply concerned about our approach to those issues. The upcoming mayoral election that will take place in November of this year here in Houston, the issues of crime, flooding, traffic congestion, environmental justice, gentrification, the Houston Independent School District being taken over by the Texas Educational Agency, the Texas legislative session and what is transpiring there and how will it impact us here in Houston, Harris County, and other diverse and heavily populated counties and cities in our state. Internationally, the war in Ukraine, the debt ceiling, or should I say the potential default of the United States on its debt, the immigration crisis as it's being portrayed. There are many things that we need to take a look at. The Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, which is known as BRICS, and their apparent decision that they're going to create their own currency or trade in their own nation's currencies rather than use the dollar as the reserve. What impact will that have on us as black people? This is what I want to talk to you about, because this is really what discernment is all about for us. Do we have the ability to discern what is similar, what is the same, what is unique, or what is opposite? Are we adopting our own opinions and policies and agendas based upon what's in our own permanent best interests? Or are we adopting the fears and the agenda and the concerns of others who are offering solutions that may not be in our best interests? Have we and are we developing what one could be called an unapologetically black agenda or community-based agenda if you're not into the black thing? Where do you get your opinion from? Who is driving your opinion? Who are the influencers that influence your opinion? It doesn't matter whether it's left or right or so-called moderate, because as far as I'm concerned, liberals lie, conservatives con, and moderates are myth makers. So what is important is that we, in a sense, have a family meeting or a series of family meetings and discuss what is in the best interest of ourselves. Mr. Farrakhan said, the greatness of your wisdom is in the decisions that you make. What decisions have we made, and on what basis have we made these decisions? You see on the screen, I have here Torchlight for America. And in Torchlight for America, Minister Farrakhan wrote in this book was published in 1993, June of 1993. In fact, we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of Torchlight for America. And Minister Farrakhan wrote in this book, in chapter 1, entitled America is on a Deathbed. I want you to listen to this. He said, America is clearly suffering, and from my vantage point, America lies on a deathbed in dire need of guidance and a new direction. If you examine her vital signs, you will have to agree that they show America is steadily on the decline. This is 1993 now. The root of her suffering is basic immorality and vanity, where greed, lust, and inordinate self-interest has become the way of life. When the desire for realization of self-interest becomes excessive, the first casualty in this struggle is truth. The leaders in society, in their struggle to achieve inordinate self-interest, engage in hiding the light of truth from the American people. Without truth, the American people are left paralyzed, unable to constructively address their problems. Look what else the minister says. He says, eventually, their only response will be to react destructively because their very lives are at peril's door, and they know not why they are in this condition nor how to save themselves. So the country could be facing revolution because, in the main, the government and leadership has hidden the truth and will not and does not have a solution for the suffering and the root problems of the people of this country. Mr. Farrakhan goes on to say, gross vanity, greed, lust, inordinate self-interest have divided the country along the lines of color, class, race, and sex. We live in one country with two realities, separate and unequal. One rich, one poor, one white, one black, one predator, one prey, one skilled, one non-skilled, one slave master, one slave. Classism, racism, and sexism are used to keep people divided. And these three evils threaten to sink and destroy the entire country. America must deal effectively with these lines of division or face anarchy and revolution. Now, brothers and sisters, by what I just read from Torchlight for America, and if you don't have the book and you'd like to have a copy of the book, let me know, and I'd be glad to get you a copy of the book. If you would just put it in the comment section, I will get you a PDF of the book if it's no longer in print. You can't find it. Try to find it. If you can't find it, then get with me, and I'd be more than happy to do so. So I'm deeply concerned that we're adopting other people's fears. Now, certainly, the uncontrolled immigration of people in the country is going to impact our community. How so is the question. And I'm saying that from the standpoint of how does it impact us specifically? I'm not talking about don't generalize, don't pull Fox, don't pull MSNBC, don't pull Newsmax, none of these. I'm talking about you and me. How is that going to affect us? When TEA takes over, or it's already taken over, HISD, how is that going to impact our community? I ain't talking about everybody, because everybody is not going to be offended or to be affected like we are. If you try to tell me that some of the magnet programs and magnet schools in HISD are going to be impacted like the Yates and Wheatley and Worthing and Hiram Clark, you trying to sell me a bill of goods, honestly. Gentrification has been described as neighborhood change that creates displacement. How does gentrification impact us? And is there a housing crisis in terms of available or affordable I don't even like to use that term affordable, man. They weaponize, the enemy has weaponized everything. You say affordable, oh my, they weaponized that. What is affordable? Affordable to me may not be affordable to you. What's affordable to you may not be affordable to me who are viewing this. What do you mean affordable? How about housing at all price points? So that everybody has an opportunity to have decent housing. But they weaponize everything. This, what they call it, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you ask some of the clowns that are attacking this concept, I mean, you have to say to yourself, man, what are you all talking about? I mean, honestly, what are you talking about? I mean, what is the what? Tell me, what is equity? What is it? Can you give me a working definition of it? I'm not talking about out the Webster's dictionary. I'm talking about a working definition of equity. Have you researched it? Have you looked at all forms of what person might consider to be equity? Or have you looked at it through one lens or one lens only? See, we've got to be more sophisticated and nuanced in our opinion, in formulating our opinions. We got to be a little bit more open-minded, but at the core of what we do and what we say has to be based upon what's in our permanent self-interest. If not, you're not really operating in the real world. You're operating in some kind of world that does not exist yet. And that's the world that Jesus gave his life for. He didn't give his life for this world. He gave his life for the world that is to come, but not this world. But if you're going to operate in this world, you need to make sure that you understand the laws of cause and effect. No, if you walk underneath the ladder, it's not bad luck unless somebody's on that ladder and drops some paint on your head. No, a black cat walking across your path is not bad luck unless, of course, you take your eye off of the wire that's or the tree branch that you get ready to hit your head on while you're looking down at this cat crossing your path. Breaking a mirror doesn't give you 7 years of bad luck. Why not 6 years of bad luck? Hell, I ain't broke no mirrors, but sometimes I feel like I got bad luck all the time. Ain't got nothing to do with mirrors. You know, put your purse on the ground and you're broke. You're probably broke because the purse costs more than all the money you got in your purse. I'm just saying. So look, we need to understand how the default on the United States debt is going to affect our community specifically. We need to look at this war in Ukraine. How many black people are in the U.S. military? And should America be pulled into this war, how many of our children will be coming back in body bags? This is the question that's before us today. So I want us to understand that the leadership in this country is not a, what they call a deep state. It's really a dark state. It's just full of secrets. And you look at the fight that's going on. We choosing sides in this fight. Have you forgotten what this government has done to black leadership from the time our feet hit the shores of this country to the formulation of this nation? What this government has done to black leadership? When have we ever really, listen to me very well, when have we really ever enjoyed full-fettered democracy in this constitutional republic? Can you name me a time? When? Why are we always constantly fighting for what we should consider to be our civil rights? And beyond that, our human rights. And beyond that, our natural rights. And beyond that, our divine rights. When have we not been found fighting for it? And don't compare me to other people. I'm not trying to do all that right this one, because again, this is one black man's opinion, and it's about our people. So why is your focus so narrow on that? Because I believe that if you solve our problems, you will solve the problems of America. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were Reconstruction amendments under the 4 Reconstruction presidents, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, and Hayes, that were to protect the freedmen's rights. First, to free them. Second, to make them citizens. And the next one, the 15th Amendment, to give them the right to vote that shouldn't be hindered. Yet we're finding what we call voter suppression. We're finding that we're not treated equally under the law. And we've been re-enslaved through the exception that's found in the 13th Amendment, except if we've been duly convicted of a crime. At a certain point in time, brothers and sisters, we really going to have to recognize the fact that no matter what party we put in power, we cannot operate according to what their agenda is. We have to understand what our agenda is. And if we're going to attach ourselves to any particular party or wear any kind of label, whether it be conservative or liberal or moderate, then doggone it, make sure that you know what the heck your agenda is, not your personal agenda, what is good for our people. And I'm not talking about incremental crumbs. I'm talking about real, substantive justice for our people. We can't wait any longer. This country is unraveling before our very eyes. The world that America built post-World War II is unraveling before our very eyes. The darker people of the earth are pushing up. They no longer fear America like they used to, and they really don't care anymore. Wake up, brothers and sisters. Wake up before it's too late. So, I go back to my theme as I close. We're no longer on radio anymore. Our show Connect the Dots is no longer airing on the Pacifica Network on KPFT. Been a 20-year run. It's been a good run, but sometimes all good things must come to an end. So we're going to take up this new venture, this new podcast, if you will, trying to build it up. And I hope that you will support it, be found supporting it when the time comes. We're not putting a Cash App address in here right now. I'm not asking for any money. This is really about money. It really is about how you and I can connect so that we can have some conversations about things that need to be had. Lastly, I don't like to give light to other people's stuff, but episode 444 of Jason Whitlock's Fearless, he talked about the 90th anniversary of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's birth. I gotta admit to you, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was pleased that he was fearless yet honest about the minister and where he stood and what he thought. And what's interesting is that I found a lot of diamonds in the dunghill of he and his co-host's opinion. There's a lot of doo-doo. But there was some diamonds in it. You put on some gloves, you pluck them diamonds out of it. But it's obvious to me that whether you take a conservative point of view, liberal point of view, or moderate point of view, that most of America, including Black America, has not read Torchlight for America. You couldn't have read it and said some of the things that he said, nor could you have the analysis, the religious, social, political, economic analysis that they had if they had read this book. There's just no way. What Minister Farrakhan wrote about the economy, about the healthcare system, about the educational system, about the moral backbone of America, about America's vital signs, about leadership's greed and inordinate self-interest, a vision for America, justice for all. There's no way that you could have read this book and try to pigeonhole Minister Farrakhan in some kind of cult-like, narrow-minded, myopic tunnel vision of hate, anti-Semitism, misogyny, homophobia, unpatriotic, the whole line. We're into this cancel culture. We're into this labeling people so that nobody will listen to them, or we don't have to listen to them. We can dismiss. You dismissed. Everybody's Orange Juice Jones now. You dismissed. Well, brothers and sisters, I say to you, what Minister Farrakhan has said, I'll close with this point. Classism, racism, sexism are used to keep the people divided. And these three evils threaten to sink and destroy the entire country. America must deal effectively with these lines of division or face anarchy and revolution. What do you think you're watching right now? What do you think happened on January 6th? What do you think is happening now in the political dialogue that's taking place? Don't you see that we have to get our house in order? You and I cannot integrate into somebody else's system if we're not whole. And as a community, we're not. We don't have to be monolithic, meaning we all think one, but we got to have a common idea about where our future lies, because our children and our elders deserve better. Elders, in terms of our ancestors, the price that they paid for us to enjoy the privileges that we do enjoy, we have an obligation to honor their sacrifice. Whether we agree or disagree with their goals or objectives, they sacrificed for what they thought and knew was best for us. And we have benefited from that. There's no denying. There has been change. There's no denying it. But remember, brothers and sisters, all change is not growth, but all growth is change. And lastly, for our children, this latter part of the baby boomer generation and Gen X and all these other generations, I can't keep on. I don't know what millenniums, these people that's coming up after us, whatever they're X, Gen X and all that, whatever they are after that. I ask you this one question, brother and sister. What legacy will we leave for our babies? Will they be better off than we were when we were born? Will they have an opportunity like we had? Will it be better or will it be worse? When we close our eyes, what will we have left our children and our grandchildren is the question. And instead of festering over the problems and the needs and the lack thereof, why don't you and I start looking at all of the assets that are in our community that we do have? We may have lost almost all the land we had at the beginning of the 20th century, but we have treasure, cultural treasure, people who are athletes and celebrities and talent that the rest of the world is feeding off of. People are getting rich, sending their children to school while some of our artists and others are dying broke. We got to break this master-slave relationship we got all the way around. That being said, brothers and sisters, you're going to offend some people when you start looking out for yourself. When Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, and Charles Hamilton said Black Power, It offended. Oh my God, Black Power. Oh my God. We marched with you. We died. We bled with you. We did all of that. And you're hauling Black Power. You want to do self-determination. You want to do stuff for yourself. And oh, what about our sacrifice? What about your sacrifice? What about it? Who benefited from it? Huh? Who benefited from the civil rights movement? Who benefited from all of the work of Dr. King and the civil rights movement? Did our people really benefit, or did others benefit? Who climbed up on the ladder of the 14th and 15th Amendment besides us? Those were for us. The civil rights movement, we were the shock troops of the civil rights movement, but did we benefit from it as much as others have? And when you talk about, well, this administration is better than the last one, maybe so. But you got to give me an analysis. I'm not just going, I don't want to repeat all of these points that you throwing out there. Let's go through a real thorough analysis. We voted in this current administration, but where's the George Floyd Police Reform Act? Where's the John Lewis Voters' Rights Act? Where is it? Isn't that what we marched for during the Black Lives Matter movement? Isn't that the dying, which we go and we do the Edmund Pettus Bridge walk? But where is the voting right? In other words, it's the old commercial, where's the beef? Unapologetically Black. That's what I am. Call me narrow-minded, but I know how to be unapologetically Black, but yet be universal in my outlook. Because I truly believe that if you give justice to us, that is the template and the paradigm for justice for all. Torchlight for America. If you want a copy, put it in the comment section. And if you want to know how to support a creation of a podcast, ongoing podcast, One Black Man's Opinion, you can do that too, and I will send you information. So until next time, remember, they, them, and theirs can never overcome us, our, and we, as long as we're subordinate I, me, and mine. I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has taught and demonstrated the teachings of the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, given to him by Master Father Muhammad, our Savior. I make no bones about it. I'm unapologetically Black and I'm unapologetically Muslim, but not to the exclusion of others. I thank you for listening and I pray for your support. This is One Black Man's Opinion. What's yours? I'm Brother Student Minister Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.